Good morning. It's Monday. Welcome back to the Kaia Daily Transmission. My name is Kaia. I'm the author of the Sophia Code. If you're just joining us live for the first time, I hope everyone had a great weekend. I had an extremely busy weekend, and just settling into this moment here with you. I'm happy to be here. Feel free to share how you are in the chat or in the video replay. Good morning. Good morning, Roxana. Good morning, Joanna. Good morning, Shmita, Peter Shift, Yelise. Good morning. Bonjour, Amanda from Paris. So good to see everyone coming on today. So we've been traveling through chapter 1 of the Sophia Code, and today I would love for us to take a moment to reconnect with our breath and our body and our hearts as we dive back into chapter 1 of the Sophia Code. So if you would like to just settle in, take 3 deep breaths together. And I welcome you to visualize your circle of empowerment around your body. Noticing the color of light that appears around your body anywhere from 3 to 6 feet outside of you. Good morning. And welcoming in those key code mentors in the north, White Buffalo Woman; in the northeast, Isis; in the east, beloved Hathor; in the southeast, Green Tara, who's here to my left; in the south, beautiful Mother Mary; in the southwest, Mary Magdalene; in the west, Kuan Yin; and in the northwest, the Sophia Dragons. Within your circle of empowerment, we welcome the full presence of your higher self, making themselves known, that presence of your divinity, making itself known to your awareness within every cell of your body. Yes. As a waterfall of white light, as a radiant star within the center of your being, growing brighter and brighter and brighter, filling out your circle of empowerment, helping your body to feel strong, healthy, and in alignment with your highest sovereign potential. Breathing into that circle of empowerment, it is commanded that all other energies that are not in your highest and best good, that are not you, now step outside your circle of empowerment, knowing that we can love others from an even more empowered space through sovereignty and not codependency. Codependency is when we carry people inside our circle of empowerment. It's when we think we have to do the heavy lifting for someone, and that's simply not true. We can embody our divine light, and that divine light speaks to others far beyond anything that we can contrive. And so today I welcome you to turn with me to page 5. And this is the section that is entitled, Sophia created you as a sovereign equal. And I know there's some really big topics here. I mean, we could unpack this chapter for years, just this one chapter. But I think what's important as we journey through the Sophia Code together is that we just pull out pearls, right? Dragon pearls of wisdom from the Sophia Code that we can just savor and allow those pearls to work on our consciousness in unexpected ways, because we're just doing it one self-loving step at a time. And my eyes are drawn to 1, 2, 3, 4. Paragraph 5. Paragraph 5 on page 5. And it reads as this. This is the words of Sophia. I am Sophia, your original divine mother source. As you invite my presence to permeate your awareness, you will only discover more and more of your own holy nature. Plunging into the ineffable depths of my immaculate creative power provides you with a perfect mirror of your own soul, a pure reflection of your divinity that you can no longer deny. Allow me to baptize you with my unconditional divine love so that you may recognize the perfect Sophia Christ light of your soul. In my revelations, you will know the great I am within you. I want to go back to that sentence that reads, plunging into the ineffable depths of my immaculate creative power provides you with a perfect mirror of your own soul, a pure reflection of your divinity that you can no longer deny. And the Sophia Code is a declaration of your sovereign divinity from cover to cover. When I first started seeing how, through channeling and through meditation, how God's consciousness created us as these sovereign divine souls, I had an enormous amount of resistance to what I was seeing. I had always thought of God as this energy and this presence outside of me that I would travel to, and when I would experience a near-death experience, it was something that I would reach for and would, for strength, and that, would send me back into this world when it wasn't my time to leave this world. And when Sophia, as this divine mother consciousness, contacted me in Mount Shasta, California, and she revealed her presence to me, it was absolutely life-changing. She was declaring that her very presence was the fabric of what I am, that there was nothing lacking in my soul, and that my soul was all powerful to be manifesting a human form in this world. It just, everything that I thought was lacking and deficient about my human journey was flipped on its head and really brought back into a place that was so empowering. And so much about the matrix programming of this world is to invert the truth of who we are. That's a form of Luciferian magic, to invert and twist the truth so that we can't see ourselves clearly, so that we will remain a slave-based culture. And there's a good portion of humanity that is absolutely asleep to its willingness to be enslaved body, heart, and mind. And so the Sophia Code came to us with these declarations from Sophia to remind us that no matter what experiences of a matrix programming that we have, that our souls are always free, they're always sovereign, they are always holy and divine, and they are always awaiting our human awareness, our free will to wake up and empower our lives, and to break free of matrix programming, and to step forward into our higher self embodiment, and to start creating on a completely different level than what most people are creating at. And Sophia speaks to that in here. She says, plunging into ineffable depths of my immaculate creative power provides you with a perfect mirror of your own soul, a pure reflection of your divinity that you can no longer deny. It's not just the divinity, it's the creativity, right? Because her divinity is your divinity, her creativity is your creativity. And she starts out this section back at the top of the page where she says, your soul's sovereign awareness is an immaculate conception of my omniscient awareness. I created your soul as a unique reflection of my one self. Therefore, your soul is a perfect hologram of my consciousness, forever expanding within my one mind. So if you were to think about Sophia as the divine mother consciousness as like a bonfire, you are a flame of that bonfire. You are not all of God, but you are a part of God. And you carry all the aspects of God within your divine genome, within your soul. Your soul manifests a divine genome when you become a form on a planet in a planetary matrix, which we will talk extensively about in chapter 2 of the Sophia Code. So this invitation, I really want to focus just to bring that kind of cosmic dialogue back into a singular focus for this morning. I want to ask you, Do you have a resistance to your divinity? When you found out the truth of your sovereign divinity, was it something that was easy for you to accept? Was it something that you wanted to push away? Did you find yourself somewhere in the middle of, maybe that's true, but then why did I become human? Feel free to share in the chat. I'd love to read some of your comments and reflections, because this is an important conversation for me. It's why I serve the way I do. There are so many souls that I just long for people to awaken to the truth of who they really are. Jody is writing in, and she's saying, I have a hard time trusting that Sophia is the source. What is beyond Sophia? My mind is always wanting to know everything. That's perfectly reasonable, Jody. So on page 4 of the Sophia Code, there is on chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sophia says at the bottom of page 4 in paragraph 6, she says, yes, I am that one source light pointed to by the innumerable names for God within all spiritual revelation. I am every name of God, and I am also that which is beyond a name for God. For any title can only point to a quality of my ineffable mysteries. You can call me the source, you can call me the Sophia, or you can call me she who has no name, for I am that which is within all names, including Holy Father. So we must understand that the name Sophia is but one name for God. And it's a name that, for whatever reason, many, many souls on this planet respond to with so much willingness, far greater willingness than God or source. And it's just simply a name. And so whatever you call God is welcome here. Katie said, I had a lot of a resistance and I broke my heart because I felt so alone. Lonnie writes in, it totally resonates with me. However, in daily living, my human self resists all the time. Part of me was relieved. Oh my God, the chat's blowing up. If I didn't read your comment, write it again. Ashley's writing in, my awareness started to soften the more I came back to my own heart. Anne is writing in, I'm in the middle, a lot of organized religion programming, not just this reality, but others. Oh my gosh, I love that. David's writing in, no, I did not find it easy to accept my divinity. I considered divinity as something godlike, and I was not worthy of being divine. I love your authentic shares so much. Keep them coming. This is so awesome to hear everyone sharing. Magdalene Media is writing in, to define divinity was a challenge for me. I thought only certain parts of me were divine. Oh my God, there's just such honesty here. Amy, my heart felt the truth of it, but the programming wouldn't allow for me to accept it. Still having some resistance to my divinity, but I'm integrating. Jade is writing in, it has taken time to embody my divinity, but it was the happiest news of my life. It was a homecoming. Oh, James is writing in, it's absolutely an experience of resistance. At times it feels too good to be true scenario. This is such honest feedback. Thank you so much for sharing. Michelle is writing in, I feel resistance to the truth of my divinity, but I also know that it is the truth. Be the Shift writes in, I studied for 3 years to get a master's of divinity, and studying Buddhism really helped me tap into all the parts of this. Yes, Buddhism has had a significant impact on my journey, my spiritual awakening. So thank you for sharing that. Let's see. Roxana says, it's easy to accept my divinity, but it's difficult to let go of everything from this lifetime and the others in order to manifest all its splendor. Yes. Cecilia's writing, and I grew up with the concept of being imperfect due to the innate sin, and I'm trying to change that belief. Yes, thank you for sharing, Cecilia. Jennifer is writing in, I felt unworthy, but now I know the truth, and there's still so much resistance. Oh my God. Kathy is writing in, is something that I knew as a child, this belief in her divinity, and then there was some trauma and it disappeared. That belief disappeared. But since reading your book and listening to you, I feel it again. And thank you. Oh my God, this is just so incredible to read all of your reflections. Thank you so much. So I think what I'm going to do in closing for today's KR transmission is, I would love for us to receive a quantum healing transmission. Today I'm wearing the Mary Magdalene Earth Angel pendant. I've been feeling Mary Magdalene and Jesus so strongly this weekend. It felt important to really honor her, and I feel her presence right here. And Mary Magdalene was raised in a divine feminine centric home, so her context of God was from a feminine space first. So I think she's the perfect mentor to show up for helping us heal this resistance to become very compassionate towards ourselves, that we are all overcoming an enormous amount of programming from the matrix, from religion, from other races that have come in and persecuted humanity and set up certain belief systems that really really line us up to turn against the divine mother within us. Do you feel that? The divine feminine within all of us, it doesn't matter what gender you identify with, the divine mother created all of our souls. That aspect of God is the aspect that gives birth to immaculate conceptions. You are literally an immaculate conception. And Sophia declares this over and over again in this section. And so let's just take a moment to receive her quantum healing light, softening us, returning us back to this truth of who we really are. Divine Mother, Holy Father, source of all life, whatever we call upon that great spirit that is God consciousness to each and every one of us. We know how much the ego structure wants to categorize and systemize names and hierarchies, but Divine Mother, your presence as the source is everything. You are the primordial space that gives birth to the very light of creation rising up from your womb. From that nothingness arises every light that is the building blocks for life, including the light and the sacred flames of each of our souls. Divine Mother Sophia, Holy Mother of all life, you who also go by she who has no name, because all names literally have called out to you across the ages. We welcome you, Holy Mother of all life, creatrix of all life, to fall fresh upon us. I hear the birds singing outside my window in unison with your Holy Spirit. I feel all of creation rising up, perpetually singing your name, your many, many names, in glory and gratitude for this gift of life that you have given to all of us. We give thanks and honestly praise for the gift of our lives, for the beating of our beating hearts, for the blessings of our lives, for everything in our life that reflects back to our awareness the truth of who we are through our immaculate conception coming from your heart, arising into these worlds of form. We welcome your presence falling fresh over us like a dove of peace. We call forth your Sophia Christ light flowing over our consciousness like a waterfall of light. We open up our angel wings and we open up our hearts and we practice that mantra that you've given us. Yes, thank you. I accept. I receive. Yes, thank you. I accept. I receive. Feeling this beautiful river of life, this consciousness of your Holy Spirit that descends into this world, giving birth to all life. We welcome your quantum healing transmission, Divine Mother. We welcome your golden light and your white light. We welcome your primordial night black, spacious transmission, that nothingness, that space that heals all wounds, that resets our consciousness back to your ineffable mysteries of sovereign power, sovereign creative power that can birth something from the nothing. And that very birthing power exists within us, for you made us in your image and likeness. We open the doors of our hearts and the doors of our minds to rest in this perfect union that we already are in with you. And we call forth all of our beautiful spiritual guides and mentors to assist each and every one of our higher selves to soften our resistances to this much unconditional divine love, to this much majesty that exists within each of our souls, and that each of our souls co-creating together is the one body of Sophia Christ. It is that collective consciousness that I am presence that is here to birth a new sovereign paradigm. and co-creation with one another. But we cannot co-create that sovereign paradigm unless we recognize that each and every one of us is in a sovereign communion with you, Divine Mother, that we are sovereign first within our own hearts, within our body, hearts, and minds. And it is from that space of knowing thyself that we can then know how to interface and love one another and co-create with one another, to create sacred boundaries around what is holy in this lifetime and to stand up for what is sacred in this lifetime. Your unconditional divine love is flowing through us in unexpected and miraculous ways today, Divine Mother. I can feel it. And I pray and I ask that you will show us signs, wonders throughout this day, whether it is a bird singing or a feather in our path, or maybe it's the way that the light is going to break through the clouds today for someone, or a phone call or a message that's unexpected. That's an unexpected blessing of your grace speaking to us about this constant communion that we are in with your holy presence that exists within us and within all others. And that all of reality, this planet, life is being embraced by your consciousness. Divine Mother, your only form is the light. And you embrace all of form. You hold us together in your mind and we expand in that consciousness that you are. This is how loved we are. There is nowhere we could go that you are not. And so today we just visualize in this moment with the support of Mary Magdalene, we visualize handing over maybe a belief of not being worthy of your love. Maybe it is this belief that we have to strive to overcome some sort of a sinner complex. Perhaps it is the belief that we have to earn your love. We ask Mary Magdalene and Jesus to support us in releasing, maybe it's one belief, maybe it's a lifetime of belief, but we lay it down here in your holy presence and we witness it dissolving in this light and this primordial space that you are, Divine Mother. We offer that resistance up to you so that we can receive more of your divine love within us, not because we've earned it, but because we're creating the space within us to finally accept who we are. We are beginning to understand now in this journey through the Sophia Code with you, Divine Mother, that every time we give up another belief or idea that we are separate from you, we create more spaciousness within us to feel how we are unified with you, that we exist in a unified field of divine love with you, Holy Mother, Sophia God, every moment of our life, every day, no matter how challenging that moment is or how blissful. Those are just temporary rising and falling of phenomenon that's dancing upon the front of our awareness, but in the back of our minds and in our unconscious and in our hearts, we are humming away in this divine union with you, forever held in your embrace. This is why it is safe to experience the wide spectrum that we can of the human experience here on earth, because we are being held by you. You never leave us. It is only our consciousness that may break away from this perfect union. And so we return to it again and again, here and now, through these videos, through these meditations, through the sacred codex. We choose our communion with you, Divine Mother. We choose the source of our true power and the source of unending, unconditional divine love, the source of our divinity that comes from your consciousness that exists as us. We give thanks. We give thanks for this quantum healing. We close with that final mantra. Yes, thank you. I accept. I receive. We open our hearts to the miracles and blessings of your consciousness, moving us, blessing us, opening us to how beautiful our relationship with life is when we understand that we are co-creating our life with you. Thank you so much for taking this time to pray and meditate together. It's so good to be here with you. It's so powerful to pray together with you. And thank you for all of your messages in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, please feel free to share your comments in the video comment feed. Please be sure to like this video and to subscribe to our channel and to Feel free to share the KR daily transmissions with those who are ready to connect with their source, to connect with their sovereignty, to learn more about the Sophia code. It's just so good to be here with you every day. We have something coming out this week. We're going to have to record some of these transmissions beforehand, something that had been planned last year. I have to take care of this week long before I knew I was going to be doing this every day. So we'll still be bringing those videos to you in the morning this week. Some of them will have to be recorded though. So thank you for your understanding with that. Oh, Magdalena Media's writing in, my tears were just rolling during that prayer. I'm so happy. I was really feeling that Divine Mother prayer so strong. David's writing in, thank you for that beautiful prayer. Esther's writing in, gratitude. That was perfect timing. Leela is writing in, thank you so much. This is just what I needed to hear. Thank you everyone so much for being here live. Please be sure to write in your comments in the replay, to like this video. It's always such a pleasure to be here with you. We'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.